Welcome back. Hey there, WeArEuS and this is Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. Now, as you may tell, we are in a very different location than where we were last. You may also remember, if you watched the previous video, that we also picked up a new traveling companion, who we probably won't be using, though I want to because I don't really trust Camille. I took a look at the necklace she wears around her neck, and it allows one to suppress their alignment, so no one can tell what it is. That's fishy. But then we also picked up this weirdo. Now, Nenio is apparently, well, she's got big plans to be a scholar, but right now she's mostly just a freeloader slash wanderer. But when we spoke to her when we first came here, completely off camera, so I'm doing this again for you guys because I like you just that much. Not too much, but just that much. So once I click on this, I'll be able to repeat everything she's told us about where she wants us to go. When we first spoke to her, she told us about, well, she added a new location to our map, which we are not going to because, according to the conversation, it's very, very far from here. And I wouldn't be surprised if it were in the complete opposite direction of where we need to go. So, what's so special about these ruins near Kennebres? Some time ago, I was walking around the border of the World Wound and I met a strange person. He was wearing a frayed gray robe and his face was hidden behind an odd white mask. Of course, I didn't miss the opportunity to ask him about the reasons for his absurd appearance, and do you know what he said to me? He said, "I am the answer, but what is the question?" Then he walked off in the direction of the World Wound. The next day, after I had already forgotten the first encounter, I had another similar encounter. This time I met an elven woman, judging by the pointy ears sticking out from behind the mask. "I am the answer, but what is the question?" she said before taking off toward the World Wound, and then I realized. Everything became clear to me. I know a mystery when I see one. Consider this one of my myriad talents. Nenio rubs the tip of her nose. After all, these geysers weren't simply on their way to a costume party, were they? After examining several maps, I determined they were all heading in one direction, to a place not far from Kennebres, a place which is marked as Nameless Ruins, even on ancient Sarkorian maps. That's where I need to go. Unraveling the secrets of that place will be my greatest discovery. It will secure my place in history, or perhaps even in legend. Now, you may be wondering, how does she all of a sudden magically know where they were all headed? Well, prepare yourself for... I mean, it's logical, but come on, who would be nutty enough to do something like this? Do you know how to find a beehive in the forest? You need to catch 2 bees, set them free in 2 different locations of the forest, and remember the directions they fly in. Then you take a map and draw lines showing the bees' routes. The place where the lines intersect will mark the location of the beehive. Fascinating, yes? By the way, forest bees do not make honey. Nenio sighs. I used the beehive principle here too. For a couple of months, I tracked the strange people in the masks and observed the direction in which they were traveling. I collected the coordinates, mapped their estimated routes, and made a discovery. All the routes intersected at the Nameless Ruins not far from Kennebres. Simple enough, right? I wasn't going to do this, but let's go ahead. Tell me about yourself. I'm an explorer, a pilgrim, a yet-to-be-recognized scientific luminary, future author of the Encyclopedia Galerianica, and rector of all Absalom's universities at once. Future rector, I should say. Nenio speaks in one breath as if reeling off a practiced monologue. That information should be enough to satisfy your curiosity, because I doubt I will be able to tell you more than that. So that information should satisfy our curiosity because there's nothing else to be said, is what you're saying. You see, the brain of any given individual can contain only a limited amount of facts. I only expend my memory on things that are truly important. The laws of thermodynamics, divine esoterica, planar geography, things that will lead Galarian to a brighter future. Nenio rubs her nose. Besides, what if I make a great discovery but I won't be able to remember it because my memory is full of outdated or useless information? What a nightmare that would be. What a loss for the whole of Galarian. You have a circle tattooed on your shoulder. What does it mean? Nenio casts a sidelong glance at her shoulder. Oh, that. I do not remember the circumstances of its creation, but I like it. I prefer to think of it as a zero. No, nothing. A center point, an origin of coordinates. It reminds me how much of the unknown world there is to explore. So you don't remember how you got the tattoo? That information is irrelevant. I've decided to forget it. I wouldn't be surprised if she actually had the ability to just forget whatever she's decided to forget. How can you decide to forget important pieces of information? This is just one of my many talents. The secret is to stop thinking about the thing you want to forget, and the main thing is not to remember anything you don't need. To filter it, to get right to the essence. I'll teach you someday. Unless I forget. Do you remember your parents, your past, or is that all irrelevant too? All of it is irrelevant on the grand scale of world history. I have no reason to remember such things. What would be the appropriate answer for us? Right. Preferably, we don't like to mince words. We would... Is that a guinea pig? That is a... Or is that a cat? Anyway, I got a little distracted. We prefer to speak our mind, but we're also pragmatic about when, where, and how we do it. But here, forgive me for saying this, but you're out of your mind. What? What were we talking about? So, this is probably going to result in her saying she simply doesn't know, or remember, I should say. Where are you from? That information is irrelevant. I decided to forget it. I'll stop torturing you with questions now. Yeah? What were we talking about? Yeah, I've got to go. Because we have one other person to talk to before we get out of here. Ember is bobbing her head and humming a tune. She greets you with a carefree, cheerful smile. Her wandering eyes linger on you for just a moment before darting off again into the distance. You're always so cheerful. How do you manage to remain so hopeful when we're surrounded by such horror? Hope? The girl tilts her head and continues with a smile. No. Hope is a lie. What should we hope for? This world is in the hands of demons. The gods can't help, or they don't want to. Or they forget about us all, or they forgot about us altogether. The people know they're about to be eaten by demons, but still they quarrel with each other and fight and steal. There's no hope. Only us. We'll have to win without hope. It will be hard. The entire abyss is against us. We can only win by some miracle, which means we'll have to make one happen. What other choice do we have? We'll work a miracle and win because we have to. The elf smiles broadly and nods to herself. Tell me about yourself. Well, they call me Ember. I used to live in the River City and now I walk with you. That's my story. Why do they call you Ember? I've had many names. When I was little, Mom and Dad called me Dove or Cricket or Kitten. Dad called me his ray of sunshine, and when Mom was cross, she called me by a long name, a grown-up one. I can't remember it no matter how hard I try. Then when I came to live in the River City, the good people called me different funny names like Ember or Torch or Smoky. I don't know why. They called me a bird brain because I have a crow. They called me Lucky Seven because of my fingers. The girl raises her hands. The middle finger on her right hand and the two smaller fingers on her left are missing. They sometimes called me grilled meat, and I said I was stupid, but I didn't feel hurt. I mean, they're right. I am silly. They didn't mean to hurt me. I like Ember. It's a good word. Embers are like people. On the outside, they're gray and cold like stones, but they're warm inside. You can blow on them and it'll start a fire to help you survive a cold night. And that's wonderful, isn't it? Ember it is. Where are you from? Far away, from the flower country. The girl gestures vaguely off into the distance. It's so beautiful there. Everywhere there's flowers blooming, golden towers and waterfalls, and everyone is like me, with pointy ears. There's no round-eared people, no short ones, no horned heads. We all live there together, me and Mom and Dad. Mom and Dad argued a lot. Dad used to say that all the good people should go on the crusade and fight the demons, and Mom said he was silly because it was so far away and none of our business. And that he shouldn't abandon his child. She meant me. But he didn't abandon me. He took me along. He said I was born the same year that the hole to the demon world opened. He said it was a sign that I would be one of the heroes who close it. Of course, I'm not a hero, but I'm here anyway, helping as much as I can. So where did you get your scars? It happened by accident. My dad and I came sailing down the river to join the crusade. Dad said that all the good people were going to the world wound to heal it. He said that the Crusaders were the best people in the world and together we were going to win. But when we arrived at the River City, the Crusaders got everything mixed up. They thought my dad and I were bad and decided to burn us at the stake. Dad died and I cried so loudly that one good night realized it was all a big mistake. He started yelling at the other Crusaders, even the one in charge, and then walked right into the fire and got me out. The others wanted to stop him, but he took out his sword and scared them away. The kind knight took me to a healer. I later learned that while the knight was pulling me from the flames, he himself was burned so badly that he died not long after. But I'm still alive. A few fingers missing and my skin is funny. I've lived in the River City ever since. I've never had my own house, but I had many friends, and then the demons came and I met you, and you know what happened after that. Is it really so easy for you to forgive them? I'm not sure I can be so merciful. No one can say how much good or evil they have in them. No one can see into their own soul. Ember smiles and tilts her head. Her inquisitive look wanders over your face as if she's trying to look into your soul. No one knows until it's time to check. So how did you survive on the streets? The elf shrugs. There are many good people in the River City. When I sang for them in the street, they'd often give me coins or bread or sometimes even clothes. I shared everything with the other homeless, and they showed me where it's safe to sleep, where I could get out of the rain and cold, where I could find discarded things. When the demons destroyed the River City, I looked for my friends, but I found no one. They probably all died. The homeless have no supplies or weapons or basements to hide in, and the knights won't protect them either. Knights are like gods, so self-important. They're saving the world after all. What do they care about the homeless? Still smiling, the girl shrugs. So where do your magical powers come from? These tricks? I have them from my grandma. She used to be my father's grandma, and before that, his father's. I've never seen her myself, but she's very kind and clever. When I lived on the street, sometimes she left food for me or a blanket in the winter. Sometimes I feel her stroking my hair as I sleep, but if I open my eyes, there's no one near. She also sent me soot. The girl scratches the crow's beak, and the bird grumbles happily in response. She tells Soot how to do different tricks, and Soot teaches me. Failed a lore religion check. It seems the girl doesn't know who gives her these powers. Her familiar was obviously sent by a powerful creature of good, perhaps an angel or a fae, though you couldn't say exactly who. Oh, frick. I'll have to try that again once we get some... Actually, I don't ever intend to put points into religion for Morrow because we're basically dumping those points into... we're dumping points into religion for her, which is odd because she's atheist, and that way she's able to more effectively curb the corruption when we camp out away from here. I appreciate your answers. Oh, not at all. I really didn't tell you anything. Okay, so I managed to stock up on everything else I needed. Oh, I also taught someone a bunch of stuff. We had a lot of money when I first came here, and now I don't. So that's the thing. Also, I found out that this throwing axe, or it is a throwing axe, right? Yeah. This throwing axe is actually a light weapon, which means I could give it to... I could at least try giving it to what's-his-face? WeArEuS. I don't have two other ones. What is this evil? Who sells weapons? That guy's outside. I wish there was a way to make them hurry up. Are you serious? Now, while I was on the world map on the way here, after recording the previous video, we need to go here. I saw that there were quests available here, but I don't remember who it said that they were to be given by. And I'm not entirely sure I even want to know, because one of them may end up progressing the story, which I'm not really trying to do. We need weapons. Weapons. And name throwing axe would end up being at the bottom. MT. Two-bladed sword. What the heck? That's a weird name for something that looks like a perfectly normal sword. Sickle can't be thrown. Nope. But it's also got better damage than... Well, he also has masterwork weapons, so there's that too. Do I have anything else I can sell? I know the answer is no, because I've been over this in the last time I recorded. Okay, that'll do. Let's put these on WeArEuS bar. Oh, right. I also did this. So, this is considered a light weapon, the Claw of Jiska. It is also, frankly, disgusting. So, why not give it to WeArEuS, who can put it to really good use with his ability to land sneak attacks. I just can't wait to see enemies blow up on a 31 damage hit. I just made that number up. That isn't even a crit. Okay, I also gave Sela... Oh, right. First off, Lan is dying. He currently has filth fever. We've been sleeping... We slept in the tavern, so he should be safe from corruption. He's just dying now. He has filth fever permanently, and right now, what are his stats being reduced by? -1 on dexterity and -1 on constitution. So yeah, I need to find a good archer soon. Nenio uses a crossbow. I think I gave her a heavy crossbow. While I'm thinking about it, I also want to do this. Actually,
I know. Let's sell this.
There we go. Oh, he can't even use this, right? Because it's a throwing weapon. First, before I give Morrow another throwing weapon, in addition to the one he already has, let's just see how well he does with the one we gave him. Okay, so, yeah, we covered that. Seela, we gave her this, the Longsword of Detriment, which we found. If you watched the previous video, you'll have seen at the very end that we came across a slaughter, basically. Bodies everywhere, horses dead, carriage overturned. But if you have everyone walk around for a little bit and you have high enough perception, you'll find this among some of the things. You'll find 2 normal loot caches, and this one third if you're lucky. What this does is, if you haven't already read it, it deals an additional +1 negative energy damage on a hit, which means we can't actually use this against demons. But its damage output is generally the same as this one's is. Actually, it's higher. This one deals, well, it's a long sword, so that would explain it. This one deals 7 to 14 damage, while the short sword, Claw of Jiska, deals 3 to 13. So yeah, I think I did some other stuff. I would really like to get her some shoes or something, but whatever. She can also, actually, she can use simple weapons, which includes heavy things like the mace that I gave to who exactly? Her. Because I really want to get her away from the rapier, even though I did give her additional proficiency in it. So we'll take this path out. Let's make sure we save first. Oh, and as you may notice, we are using... I don't like her. I don't trust her. It's not really a matter of like, I don't trust her. I trust her even less than I trust WotR. She's super suspicious. But she's also got a lot of HP, and Seela wouldn't be alone on the front lines alongside this guy, who's mostly going to walk in and attack from the sides while they're all looking at... Get out of here. While they're all looking at Seela. Okay. I'm looking for the nameless... the nameless ruins. Weird. It was added to the map. It should be here, so it's closer than I thought it would be. Also, we need to talk to Forn. There was another quest on top of this. Forn. I don't remember that name. Let's go ahead and do that then. I think I remember who Forn is. Barely.
Godspeed.
Oh, I can also talk to who I think Forn is. Nope. That's Helor. So I can talk to Helor and actually make myself a new archer who won't be dying over the course of the game. Which would be neat because of how I play. I could just end up making another Zen archer and get a much better land out of it. One who I could actually, well, I mean, he'd be a mercenary, so could you really trust him? Where the frick is Forn? Let's find out. Peasant, land. There is no Forn here. Do you guys see Forn? I don't. Oh, this guy. Yeah, let's quick save before we talk to him. Chernog. The oaf's pale, beautiful face bears an expression of melancholy detachment. How may I help? Well, we did quick save a moment ago. Pretty sure I did. I'm certain I did. But do we want to tell this guy that we met Kaylessa? Sure, why not? I think Kaylessa might be a drow. Succeeded at the perception check. You see a shadow pass over Thorn's eyes for a single instant. Then his face is just as impassive as before. A drow. How unlike... A drow. Unlikely. It's more plausible that her dark service has left a branch similar to the one that twisted the entire cursed drow race. A coincidence, I would think. I met her, though. Thorn's melancholic expression remains calm, but his entire body tenses, and his fingers wrap around the handle of his weapon. Under what circumstances? I hope you seize the opportunity to kill her. Are you absolutely certain of your allegations? Now, remember, before we go on, when we spoke to Kaylessa, she actually told us not to mention that we actually encountered her, lest we be murdered. I'd love to see him try. Though given that he's an elf, he'd be frail, and thus he'd probably rely on stealth, and thus we probably wouldn't see him coming. But in the end, he'd be handled. Thorn lowers his head and says in a hollow voice, I am. Her misdeeds are terrible and proven with absolute certainty. Yet she claims she doesn't serve the demons. Of course she does. In an attempt to buy her life, she would stoop to the boldest and most egregious of lies. Whose words do you trust, hers or mine? Instead, I let her go. After giving you a saddened look, Thorn stares off into the distance. Your decision is regrettable. I'm afraid in that doing so, you've condemned her many future victims to death. I suppose it just means that bringing this hunt to a close falls upon my shoulders. Methinks he has a... Wait. Nope, I think that's about it. Dang, I want someone with an animal companion, but that's... I don't want to spend... Last episode, I spent about 40-something minutes just adding points. 1 point, 1 level up to 6 separate people. Doing that for 2 others from the ground up? No, nope. I'm not doing that. Yet. I could actually do that after I finish recording. It's going to be a long one, though. Well, not that long. Now, I just saw on the loading screen that there's well, I don't know if it's a talent or what, but it said there's something called an Ascendant Mythic. That guy's dead. This guy's keeping watch. Good on him. There's an Ascendant Mythic, I'm just going to call it talent, that effectively allows... I know some of what's this way, and I want to get that covered in this video, but for now, I want to clear this area.
Thanks, Lan. You're so awesome, Lan.
Now, as I was saying, the Ascendant Mythic talent, or whatever it's considered to be, actually allows spellcasters to deal damage to enemies with elemental spells regardless of their immunities or resistances. Which sounds great. I really want that for Morrow, but of course he's technically not a spellcaster. He just speaks and the world responds. Now, last time I tried to camp here, it said you can't set up camp when enemies are nearby. So, let's go ahead and quick save. I'm looking at Lan and wondering why I kept him in my party. Wait. That way leads nowhere.
Quiet steps. Weapons ready.
This. Oh yeah, I saw the zombie over there. But first, so I'm going to be perfectly honest. I have no idea how I'm going to cut that, but I'm cutting that out of the video. Up ahead is a cultist necromancer who was masquerading as a shopkeeper here. I mean, that's not fine. That's unfortunate for him. But the fight went on for about 30 minutes. Way too freaking long for my taste. Worse still, the bastard cast Sphere on everyone but Seela, because Seela can't be affected by it. Morrow rolled high against the first one, so he wasn't affected by it, but I mean, he's not particularly useful in general, so fat lot of good that did us in the end. I should have done the smart thing and greased these bastards up like I wanted to. So that's what we're going to do. These guys are a pain in the butt. They're also levels. Two of them are level 5. One of them is level 4. These guys are only level 2. Now what I really want is some vision.
I'm here. Where else would I be?
I want to end the necromancer's life.
Might be trap. Might be treasure. Fine.
There. Now we can see him. So let's go ahead and get
Meditate
Lan
on
into
mistakes.
position.
Might make you feel better.
When I first did this fight, I don't know how I cut it, so I may be stating the obvious here, but I took these guys out. They're junk. I should probably have ignored them, but then I should have focused on the cultist necromancer. He's level 6. Yeah, he should go. I have to turn that off first. Wait, do I? How much does he need to move up to get a shot on him? This is 30 feet? No, surely it's not. Let's not even take the chance.
You've crossed the wrong obstacle.
11. I have no idea how much health the guy has, but that's fine. Crap. The bars have been reset. God dang it. I don't want anyone moving from this spot. Every last one of you can eat a dick. There's one zombie, one cultist. I want this guy dead, but she can't move up in range to hit him yet. I also want to spread everyone out. Let you sit there. What else? I mean, for someone I expect to turn out to be the ultimate big bad, she could have had her cast that on herself. She really has a lot of support abilities.
You won't survive me.
He's face down in Greece. What more do you need? Killed it. Thank you, sneak attack damage. He's up. I'm going to leave Sela. Actually, maybe we'll move her up some. The spell that scared everyone else may have been centered on her. Look who gets his turn absolutely last. Face down, face up. Still face down, still face down. Just how I like them. Okay, so we've got a 6. And who do we cast this on? Vulnerability. He's asleep. Good night, sweet prince. This could go.
Endure this!
One more.
Did you see that?
This fight has just become easy mode. I just need the rest of these guys to come forward. Or not. And he whiffed it. Unfortunate. Thank you. Let's see if we can get her around this. Let's see. Oh, I can't even do it now. Let's see. Sleep on... Nope, that's 5. This one. He's asleep now. Good girl. I'm actually going to go ahead and swap her weapon now. And then move her up alongside Sela. Time to bop some heads. This one first.
Make every strike count.
Good job. Okay. Can we get her around the grease? Yes, sirree, Bob. I don't think we can get her in range to coup de grace anyone.
Into the fray!
Not affected by the target's spell resistance. Good, because it's a limited use. And it'd be a shame if it weren't. Okay. I mean, why not just kill Sela with it while you're at it? If that guy gets up out of the grease, well, if either of them get up, they should be vulnerable to an attack of opportunity from Sela. Dang it.
I'll cut you wide open.
Lan, please show them how it's done.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
10 and a 5. He attacked the zombie, the nearest one. I guess that makes some sense. Oh, also, who are you shooting at? Also, the cultist, the necromancer cultist, blinded Woljif at some point, and I have no idea when. So I was casting spells with him before I realized that he was in fact blind, which is impossible to cure unless you have a scroll of remove blinding. Seems fair. Who are we? Her? Okay. Yeah.
No glory without risk.
First, while I am thinking about it, massive penalties, the penalties to attack rolls. Yes, I know.
Do not hold back.
Hey, you're on your feet. Good for you. 6 to... Okay. Oh, he's dead. Oh, that was Lan's handiwork. Naturally.
The spirits demand your blood.
Good luck with that. A critical miss.
You won't survive me.
9 and a miss. Good enough. So he can deal sneak attacks if an enemy is near 2 of our allies, maybe? Let's avoid walking into that, shall we? Come on. Really? There isn't that much space left? I knew you were a liar. Ooh. No, we don't stop in Greece. We leave that to our enemies.
Strike as one.
Thank you. And he's still asleep. No reason for us to use any more spells.
Surrender, or else!
She has precision shot, so... and I was hoping against hope that this video would actually be done sooner rather than later. Or not this video, but recording in general. I was hoping to get this done in just 2.5 hours? Yeah.
Endure this!
Oh my god. Okay, so we want to go here. Now, she's always going to be like that. And that. Actually, these are heals. That's actual damage.
The light take you!
Well, I know when I'm beat. Get out of here.
Attack!
Done with you!
Ooh. I mean, Camellia only did 1 damage, but naturally, Seela did all the heavy lifting with that hit. Should kill him if it hits. Nice. I'm not going to let you do anything to that guy. Instead, why don't you give Seela some guidance? Actually, I want to do this. So that her next endeavor is fruitful.
Make every strike count.
Really? Is this guy made of air or something? Seems like no one can hit him. It's actually going to be here. Oh, it's a full round action. That's right. Need to move her here.
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
We shall overcome.
Ow. Yeah, you are never getting out of there alive.
I'll hit you!
They can't actually reach the zombie unless WotR pulls his grease. Or Land can just end this
You've
quickly.
crossed the wrong mongrel.
That's it for fighting. Let's make sure this gets caught up.
Don't mind me.
The disfigured corpses are laid out in a neat pattern in preparation for an unknown ritual. Takey, takey, take? No. Takey, takey, takey. Anything good? Ooh, yeah, that's good money. Cultist had protection from good, communal. This, ooh. It's unidentified right now, so we'll pick that out last. Oh, Dark Horn. That's the weapon it showed that he was equipping. Let's see. This is a glaive, two-handed. It deals 1 to 3 negative damage. A glaive popular among Baphomet's warriors. Touching the handle is enough to sense the latent evil within this weapon. So, in addition to its 3 to 14 damage, which is actually pretty freaking good. It also deals an additional 1 to 3 negative damage, or negative. Negative isn't an element. Anyway, I like that. Can you use that? No, of course you can't. It would actually make sense if you could. Okay. What else do we have here? We'll just notice something in the corner a while back. We'll check that out after we see what's over here.
Godspeed.
Jeez. Can't go any further than that. That's fine. Anything this way? Nope. Over here it is. Lockpicking. I guess the lockpicks were worth it. Oh, and the Dark Horn. I don't know how or where I'm ever actually going to be able to use something like that, but
Let us press on.
I'll do my best. Can't even go there. We know zombies are down here. But I don't think anyone needs to rest, so we'll do it this way. We're going to head back over the thing because we haven't actually made any story progress or progress on this particular quest in a while. So let's quick save so we can...
Forget it. Well, this didn't go well.
Can we rest now? No? How about now?
Got a better idea.
Well, this didn't go well. Thanks, Lan. You're so awesome, Lan.
Okay, we might have to kill some things once we...
Godspeed.
Let's actually do it like
Defeat
this.
is not
Dang
an
it.
option.
What saw me? Fiendish giant centipede that I don't see anywhere at all. How was I seeing when I cannot see? Anyone want to tell me how I was seen by something I can't see? Ember. Oh great, he's diseased. That's gross. With the demon plague, disease is a common kind of malign condition. Most only harm you once a day, but go on indefinitely until cured. Great. Good thing I picked up remove disease, which no one can learn. Who do we have here? Camellia. Oh, that's not good.
Do not hold back.
Okay. Look who's being useful finally. Yeah.
The inheritor, guide my blade.
I mean, it says fiendish. I'm just checking to see if it's... No, it's neutral. Okay. We have land. These two, please.
You've crossed the wrong mark.
Please. Oh. One'll do you.
Cover me, all right?
Surrender, or else!
What level are they? 2. To no one's surprise.
I'll cut you wide open!
Naturally, this team is doing as well as you would expect against people that are, what? Or creatures that are 2 levels lower than them.
Strike as one.
God dang it. Well, it's fine. This is
You won't
over.
survive me.
Wow. -3 dexterity. Great. Yeah, that's... Ooh, hold on.
Are we playing hide and
Let us
seek?
press on.
Won't let you hurt my friends!
We've got 2 Tenebrous satyrs dealing no good damage to... Well, one of them did. Wow. These guys are not to be underestimated. Oh my god, what is that? What is going on with you? Oh, right. He was on the front line, so he got a little messed up. I remember now. But this thing, what the actual frick? Immune to negative. It's got energy resistance to acid, cold, and fire. So don't that beat all. Actually, we'll have him pot up. Okay. Then we'll have him move up. This is Camellia. Oh, that's weird. I thought it was Mara. Let's move this along. We've tarried and... Yep, tarried. Tarried a little too long in combat as it is. You first.
Endure this.
Slumber won't work on demons, right? No, he's not immune to slumber. But I also can't promise the guys are going to remain asleep. Dang it. Can we all take a moment to appreciate that one of the Crusaders just crit the Brenda look for 35 damage? Good stuff.
Attack!
Whiff. Now for Sealer to move in. Wait, is her weapon considered entirely negative? No, just the 1 damage. But it's also not considered good either. So there's that complication. I don't want her caught up in anything that guy casts on them. That's why she's over here. That was a little awkward. What the frick did that thing cast? Yeah, we need to get in there and kill that. Being able to do AoE damage like that is not okay. So, first off, we need to... usables. Completely worth it. We need to get in there before that guy's next turn. No more time for pussyfooting around.
Your blood.
Make every strike count.
Yeah, since it failed, she can't cast it on him again.
Too late for apologies.
And it's gone. Only one left.
We shall overcome.
What did he hit it for? 1. Good enough.
The light take you!
Critical hit. God dang it. I just passed 2 people's turns on accident. Because I'm good at the game.
Wrong mongrel.
I'll hit you.
Its turn is coming up. We're all getting hit anyway, so may as well.
No glory without risk!
Used abandoned flesh. Thankfully it wasn't on someone on my team.
Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
I'm surprised that it missed. Hey, look how useful I was. Why does this thing have a longsword in it? Weird. It's not even masterwork, so it's not even worth carrying.
You won't survive me.
What is this? Stories told us by spirits, the Knight of Herald Hands, Kenabres, Medium Alliance Publishing. Okay. Okay, while I'm thinking about it, let's go ahead and set up camp here. That way we can use these guys as shields, in case it comes down to that. Yeah.
My life is unfolding most unexpectedly. These demons chose Canabres of all places, and now of all times. Because of them, my life has changed in the blink of an eye.
Or you.
Yeah, yours and the lives of everybody else in Canabres. You're talking like the demons came here just to inconvenience you.
Just a smidge of abyssal corruption. Good, good. Use the trunk to cross the gap. Doesn't appear to be anything else over here. I will remember that that trunk is there. Whether or not it proves to be relevant is another matter entirely. Then there's this. I have tolerated your heresy for too long. The signs of recent hard fighting are obvious in this stern old man. His armor is dented and covered in blood, and his unnatural pallor suggests something more dangerous than wounds inflicted by claws and fangs. Nevertheless, his gaze is stony, and his voice, accustomed to barking orders, is harsh and clipped. He brings the blade of his sword to the throat of the beautiful golden-haired Azamar, who is being held by two soldiers. What? He brings his... I've tolerated your heresy for too long to the throat of the beautiful golden-haired Azamar, who is being held by two soldiers. I should have put you to the stake the day you arrived in this city. Perhaps then this tragedy could have been prevented. Or perhaps you should have listened to others instead of spitting accusations of heresy at anyone who stood up to you. The Azamar has been savagely beaten, but a smile plays on his bloodied lips. Who knows? Perhaps we could have saved Canabres if you had listened to my warning about the demon's attack. If you had allowed my adepts to complete their mission. If we had worked together instead of fighting each other. You said yourself you have been fighting against me all this time, you heretic. Well then unburden your soul. Confess before your death that your adepts succumbed to the demons and, at their instigation, almost deprived the city of its wardstone. The old man strikes the Azamar across the face. The time for confessing has passed. Say your final prayer to your unholy mistress. You will soon be united with her. The Azamar notices you, and in a loud, clear voice and tones, "Oh, Desna, the great dreamer, I pray to you, protect my adepts. Send a brave soul to aid them, one who knows the price of freedom, and who can distinguish good from evil. May they not share my fate, and forgive Prelate Overrun for everything, including the folly he is about to commit." I've heard enough of this treasonous prattle. He seems to be a split second away from slicing the Asamar's throat. I only watched the other guy's video up to as far as the encounter here, and I was like, you know what? What if I want to do this? So, here I am doing this. Frankly, I'm of a mind not to interfere, but I also don't have enough information to determine whether the Azamar is actually deserving of, well, I was trying to find a colorful way of saying being beheaded, but it took too long. I don't know if the guy actually needs to be killed or not. And I also don't know what to do with the fact that a while ago, it clearly stated that he noticed me and then prattled off this garbage. So am I supposed to take that as I noticed him noticing me? I don't want to interfere, but I'm also curious as to what's going on. Let's see what happens. Hey, what are you doing? Let go of him. The old man, caught up in his retribution, pays no heed to your words. The old man slices the Azamar's throat. The body drops to the ground and the old man turns to you. Who are you? What are you doing here? You're not a cultist, are you? See how I deal with cultists. And what is this hideous creature? Overrun peers at Lan with suspicion. Lan, at your service. The mongrel ducks his head in a bow. My forebears fought in the First Crusade. I've lived in Canabras my whole life. You haven't seen me before. Ah, it must be because you don't ever venture into our underground district. You know, we've been meaning to complain to the city authorities that our paving stones have been needing repair for a long time. The First Crusade? So you're a mongrel. You obviously know human speech, surprisingly well, in fact. Alright, let's be off with you. The prelate looks at you. If he causes any trouble, I shall hold you responsible. Come to think of it, you still haven't told me who you are. You know, I'm not one to go around whipping my dick out in front of people, just because it's big and glows with a holy light. First off, I'm curious to know, why did you kill this Azamar? For heresy and treason! Overrun spits. This cultist has been spreading seditious rumors in the city for years, undermining our defenses and besmirching my name. In the end, his creatures, the adepts of the Temple of Desna, revealed their true colors when they tried to sneak into the Wardstone chamber and perform who knows what foul magic over it. If I hadn't been keeping my eye on them from the very beginning, their plan would have succeeded, and now Canabras would have lost the significant protection afforded by Iomede's gift. The traitors were fortunately stopped in time. I've just disposed of the leader, and without doubt, the rest of his accomplices will be found and justly punished. Occultists? Isn't Desna a good and benevolent goddess? Her church isn't outlawed, is it? Good, evil, what's the difference? All forces of chaos are the same. That doesn't make any sense. Demons, Azadas, Nocticula, or Desna, it makes no difference to me. All they think about is destroying and tearing down, but that way leads to madness. Takes one to know one. The Desnan's intentions may have been good, but they were the first to succumb to the demon's lies, the first to poison the morale of their comrades, and the first to rush headlong into fatal foolishness. May Iomade serve justice on them all. But, Prelate, they're our allies. Some allies can do more harm than your enemies, you know? Precisely. I'm gratified to see that the taint that disfigured your body did not leave you dull-witted as well. Land Scowls, thank you for your, kind words. Glad the demons didn't knock your brain out of your skull on the battlefield. I am responsible for this city. The Queen herself appointed me to protect it, and the goddess has conferred upon me the powers to fulfill my duty. I decide here who is an ally and who is an enemy. You are the sort of person that should not have any power. Frankly, I'm tempted to fight him, but also extremely worried that he'd just kick my teeth out the back of my head. We are nowhere near as strong as I prefer. So why are you standing here? I'm standing guard over this hole. There are demons hiding in there, no doubt about it. The moment that we step away, they'll come crawling out. If there were, they'd have come crawling out and killed you anyway. They're not worried about 3 little soldiers, one of whom who is borderline insane. As it isn't the first instance of this mindless, senseless violence perpetrated by the soldiers of this city against anyone who isn't one of them, I can't help but say that this is mindless brutality and lawlessness. You're a disgrace to your city and your goddess. No, I'm protecting the city, and my dealings with the goddess have nothing to do with you or anyone else. Man. Yeah. Sometimes your allies can be way more dangerous than your enemies. Now, I don't personally know for a fact there's nothing in this hole, but logic dictates that if demons were standing there, or down there, they'd have come up already and slaughtered the lot of you. You have no reason to guard this hole. I won't hear another word. Demons are hiding underground. The proof is all around you. The demon spawn that tried to crawl out can't harm anyone now. Wait, you're trying to lure me away from here, aren't you? With narrowed eyes, Holman scans you from head to toe. Perhaps you're a cultist too. Want to help your friends underground, do you? Well, you won't fool me. Didn't feel right saying it that way. Well, you won't fool me. I won't take a single step from here, and if you keep talking nonsense, I'll have you strung up for treason. And that's when I whipped out my shiny, glowing, long, girthy too, light of heaven. The old man frowns and whispers something, a prayer or a spell. With each word, his face relaxes. You're telling the truth. The light in your hand was wrought by the power of heaven. I will keep an open mind with regard to you, stranger, and later, under less fractious circumstances, I would like to ask you about how you came to receive this gift. So let's try this again. There's nothing dangerous in this hole. You have no reason to guard it. You told me yourself that you received a light-bringing gift from an angel who perished in the caves below our feet. It is no secret. It is no secret that those passages are teeming with dangerous creatures that could kill anyone, even a warrior of heaven. Demons and demonic offspring love roaming around underground. That's why I'll be keeping an eye on this hole. If the beasts decide to attack from here, we'll be ready for them. You know what? That angel died to Deskari a very, very long time ago. If Deskari crawled up out of this hole Your presence here would serve no purpose other than to paint the streets red. I for one, am okay with that outcome. I want your weapons after all. That armor would be nice too, but you know, I'm just not. Let's see if we get a different response. No, the response, I don't see a reason why the response would be different here. He's caught up in his, what's the word? Not zealous. There's another word. I can't remember it, and it would take too long to fish it out of my memory. Genuinely, I would prefer to do this, but I am not entirely certain that I'd actually be able to win. This guy is a problem on 2 feet. But I'm going to hold off for now. This is 1 strike against him. He only gets 2. If he does something questionable like this again, well, we'll have to see if the city will truly be better off without him. But for now, Prelate, your forces are needed elsewhere. Irabeth Tirabade, Warden of the City, is gathering troops in Defender's Heart to strike against the demons. Who now? Tirabade. That upstart Warden of the City? Let me take a break for a moment. Yes, his voice, my rendition of however he's supposed to sound has shifted significantly from one sentence to the next. I apologize. I'm trying to find something that fits with his face in the image. That upstart Warden of the City. I suppose I've already been written off for dead. This isn't sedition, this is outright insurrection. I'm loath to abandon my watch, but I can't turn a blind eye to such a blatant usurpation of power. We have no hope of defeating the enemy if there's disorder within our own ranks. I'm going over there right now. I need to see what this Irabeth is up to. I may have caused more problems than I solved with doing this. Ember peers intently at Overrun. I remember you. When Father and I arrived in this city, you met us. He's the one who set her and her father on fire. Strike 2. But it's true. You and the other knights tied us to stakes and started lighting bonfire. Father died, and then one of your knights changed his mind and pulled me from the flames, but then he died too. Don't you remember? If you were burned, then it was with good reason. You say some traitor helped you escape from the fire? That is a crime in itself, which means you've been evading justice all these years. If it weren't for the invasion, I would review your case and see that your sentence was finally fulfilled. You're lucky that we have more important matters to deal with right now. He didn't look the way he does now, all wrinkled and gray. He was young with a big mustache. Ember smiles broadly and draws a large bushy mustache in the air with her finger. He probably forgot all about me. It was a long time ago. But I do want to say one thing. I'm not cross with him. This knight is a true hero. He just really, really wanted to protect his city, only he got all mixed up about who was good and who was evil. You forgive him after what he did to you and your father. He thought he was doing what he was doing was right. How do you know? Maybe you've done something thinking it was a good thing, but you were really doing a bad thing that hurt someone. But what if I've done the same thing? You can't get angry at people for making mistakes when you might be no better than them. I genuinely hate how right she actually is. Let's not forget what we did with Wenduog, taking her side over Lan's, although, let's be honest, Lan was no angel in that situation himself. He admitted as much himself. He didn't care about the light or what it might mean. He just wanted to get out. overrun. You send an innocent child to be burned at the stake. Don't you want to ask forgiveness? He asked, knowing full well that instead of a positive response, he would get, "Pah! Hardly. Anyone can look innocent. How did this girl manage to survive the fire?" She explained that. I mean, it is odd how she survived when her father died, who should have been able to endure more, but whatever. And what about that crow that's always flying around her? I advise you to take a closer look at this little lamb of yours. If you ask me, she looks highly suspicious indeed. Oh. I am. Oh. Ooh, boy. I am genuinely fighting the urge to murder this man and his two friends where he stands. Oh. And let's make no mistake, I see that killing him at this point in time would be considered a lawful action, when a moment ago it would have been a chaotic action. But what Ember said rings just too true. So, he gets one extra strike. The next thing he does that I find questionable in any capacity, we'll see his head roll. Or, if land crits, his body burst into gore. Yes, let's go. Bye-bye, kind knight. The girl waves to overrun with a carefree smile. Overrun grimaces and turns away. Well, for that interaction we gained 460 XP. Good enough. But the real issue is that monster is now going to... No loot here. That monster is now going to the tavern. Star Knife, enhancement +1. No one here can use this. I checked earlier. Woljif would be the one closest to being able to use it, but he can't. Let's go ahead and quick save before I go back on my decision and at least try to murder that guy. Well, it's not really murder, it's justified execution. Let's call it that. Of course, then you're probably saying to yourselves, well, then you wouldn't be any better than him in that case, except he's actually done something reprehensible. Oh. You hear a noise from somewhere close by, scant inches away, something between a whimper and a groan. It is followed by heavy, gasping breaths. We have... Who's got the highest diplomacy? Wow. Ember. I know you're there. Show yourself and we can talk face to face. Succeeded at the diplomacy check. The stranger, who is clearly the Desnan Adept Ramian. The Desnan Adept Ramian mentioned. Ramian. I don't remember who the frick that is. Ramian. Oh, Ramian was the guy that whose body we just looted, isn't it? Is it? The name is familiar, but I'm so tired of jumping at every shadow. If I suspect every person I meet of nefarious intentions, I'll be just the same as WotR, won't I? I don't want to be like him. I want to believe that you are a friend, stranger. The adept ends the invisibility spell that appears before you. So you're one of the Desnan adepts that tried to break into the ward stone. Yes, I am WeArEuS, cleric of Desna, and one of the people who answered the call of the voice in dreams. Some unknown person made contact with us through our dreams, telling us about the demons' plans. We learned that the demons were planning to attack Canabras and do something terrible to our ward stone, which already carries the taint of corruption. Prelate Holrun refused to heed our warnings. We had to make a choice. We could either throw up our hands and pull back, or take action, even though it could cost us our lives. But what heartless person could stand by in the face of such a deadly threat? What were you planning to do to the ward stone? The young man hesitates. Our plan was to get it and then follow our instincts. Or get to it and follow our instincts. There were 3 of us, a cleric, a mage, and a bard. Between us, we know a lot. We're capable of a great deal. If we'd had enough time, I'm sure we could have figured out what's wrong with the ward stone and how to deal with it. They didn't give us time. Yes, the local commanders got roped into dealing with this. Some idiot kids trying to break into the ward stone, apparently some of ours. Who even knows these days? I know there's no evil in you, I can sense things like that, but what you did was so stupid and impulsive. Someone could have got hurt. I know from experience. So you lot decided you needed to do something right away, so you did something right away. Great work. Land gives a sarcastic round of applause. Like the city authorities would have done a better job. They weren't going to do a thing, even though it sounds like they knew about the danger. All they knew was some crazies had some weird dreams. But anyway, it's a little late to be trying to pin blame on people. How did you even come up with such a plan? How could we not come up with that plan? You sense the young man's temper rising. Listen, Desna is the goddess of luck, but luck, as many lay people would understand it, and luck as we, the followers of music of the spheres, see it, are far from the same thing. Our people believe that luck is something good that falls into your lap just because, like a generous but unearned reward. We see luck as a fundamental law of creation, according to which even in the darkest hour of the most hopeless situation, a chance of rescue and change for the better can arise. But you've got to seize this chance when it presents itself, or better yet, create your own. Followers of Desna are not people who like idleness and inaction. That's why Canabras was in trouble. When Canabras was in trouble, we did it as our goddess had taught us. We took the matter into our own hands and tried, in a moment of desperation, to pluck our chance from the hands of fate itself. You were trying to help. Can they punish you if you were trying to help? Ask your father. Is that allowed? Was that comment about her father a little too soon? And sometimes it's even necessary. I'm definitely against lawful, just on a base level, I'm against lawful actions, but I'm sick of all this Crusader infighting. It's not just infighting, it's a matter of life and death. It's about the path we're all on. The adept stops short. Whose voice have you been hearing in your dreams? Nobody knows what it is, but everyone who has heard her, I should say, is convinced she's a good and pure soul chosen by Desna. We had a choice. We could trust her, except that we have an ally somewhere who isn't afraid of all the armies of the Abyss or We could drown in suspicions and get one step closer to becoming just like overrun. We decided to trust the voice and seeing Kingmaker devastated, which is what our unknown ally tried to prevent until the very end. I can see now who had the truth on their side. Given the circumstances, this question, asking this should be a little... What the frick is that? Can I have that? Where are your fellow worshippers, and how many of them are there? Fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know where they are. We split up to confuse the Inquisitors who were chasing us. Do you need help? That would be great. I have no hope of finding my friends in this chaos, and I'm scared to think what will happen if the Inquisitors or the demons get to them first. Listen, my friends are called Aranka and Thal. Thal the Wallflower. Aranka is an amazing singer and a truly beautiful girl. She has plenty of friends and fans. She's probably blended into a crowd somewhere. Wallflower is a mage, but I don't think he'll risk using magic. It will only bring the Inquisitors down on him. He'll be harder to find. You better find Aranka first. She might know where Wallflower is. Please, find them and protect them against the demons and the Inquisitors. I will await news in the goddess's temple. I hope our mysterious helper will send us a new message that will reveal what is to come from the demons. I've got to go. Go. May Desna be with you, stranger. And he dies right there. Let's see, we've been recording for about an hour and a half, but... yeah, he should have died right there. The Dretch was looking in his direction. But, before we do anything, I want that. What are we looking at here? Dueling. Neither of them worth the carrying. God dang it. Midnight Bolt. The owner of this bolt can shoot it to deal 50 points of damage that can't be ignored or reduced. It also can't miss. I mean, I'll take it, but I'm not, into consumable items that it deals 50 straight up damage. So, I mean, I'm probably going to find a good use for that. There's also this over here. The demon invasion transformed all of Kingmaker into one great battlefield, but nowhere in the city suffered as much as this square. This place saw a clash of titans, the demon lord Deskari leading his hordes from the abyss and the dragon Terendelev, the mightiest of the city's defenders and one of the first to fall. The scene of destruction leaves no doubt as to the battle's outcome. A skilled scout could recreate the course of the battle moment by moment simply by looking at the ruins. From the chimneys torn down by powerful wings in a sharp dive, to the bloodied tracks left behind when the demon dragged away the noble... Wow, I messed that up pretty badly. To the bloody tracks left behind when the demon dragged away the noble reptile's broken body. But it is no hypothetical scout gazing upon the ruins. It is Morrow, and he is not alone. The shadow of a strange, barely perceptible presence lingers over this place, like a gaze untethered from any observer. This mysterious force unknown to mortal kind silently assesses, judges, and seeks a better way. In an instant, Morrow is vested with this power and looks at the world with its eyes. The past, present, and future stand before him as a unified whole, an unmoving, multifaceted crystal that would be beautiful were it not for the fractures, blemishes, and flecks marring its splendor. Let's start with the future. Good, evil, chaos, and order, everything is in its lawful place in the multiverse, and is no longer trespassing where it does not belong. Nothing is disrupting the smooth and steady current of the river of souls from life into death and back to life again. The reality, rid of its flaws, is now perfect, and the aeons withdraw to eternally admire its beauty, which will never be threatened again. What present does he see? Ruins, blood, corpses. None of this perturbs the aeons' dispassionate gaze. The living are all alive. The dead will be judged by Pharasma. All is as it should be. But the demons circling in the sky or prowling through the streets create a jarring juxtaposition, like splashes of blood-red ink on a restrained pencil sketch. They should not be here. The world of mortals is for mortals. The demons' place is in the demons' world. How sublime the world would be if everything in it knew its place. But even the demons aren't as abhorrent as the sharp-edged, unassuming crystal, languishing in the dirt among the bricks and smashed cobblestones. No mortal would notice it, but to the Aeon's eyes, its mere existence is an outrage against universal laws. If the Aeon still existed, they would not stop until the crystal was unmade, but the Aeon is gone and only their gaze remains. Morrow picks the crystal up out of the dirt and stows it in his pocket. He is mortal, which means he has the power to decide what to do with it. Received the purple stone knife. What past does he see? In the past exists the one who wielded this gaze in life, although the one and life are in opposite terms for aeons, supernatural embodiments of cosmic balance. Rather than who or what, a better word for these entities is how. This aeon appeared from outside this world, from the great beyond, to put an end to the intermingling of the planes that destroy the world wound, the chasm disrupting the order of the multiverse. Alas, the visitor from beyond proved too weak for the battle they came to fight. They even failed to finish casting the spell that would have sent Deskari back to the abyss. With one swing of his scythe, the Demon Lord cut the Aeon down. After following the hero to view the world through their eyes, the little that remained of the destroyed Aeon is killed, even appropriate here for an entity that is so removed from life and death as we understand them. Used up its last vestiges of energy. Now they are ready to disperse into nothingness unless someone decides to preserve the Aeon within themselves. Will the hero take on this power, so that he may again look at the world through another's eyes, or will he allow it to vanish? Retain the Aeon's power within yourself, that we may save this world. The spirit of the Aeon dwells out of sight, deep in Morrow's soul, like a pair of magical spectacles stowed away until the moment when the hero once again needs to look at the world through another's eyes. Well. Hey, stop playing in that corpse. That's not right.
Our path leads on,
Let's make sure.
escaping from sight.
Neophyte fighter, huh? Let's move Woljep up so we can get a little bit of vision on what we're looking at here. The cleric has to go first. They're all low levels, so we basically win this fight for free. So where is Lang? Brace yourself. This is gonna hurt. This guy. God dang it.
endure this.
I told you. Let's move Sela up. Ember. What do we do with Ember? With Ember, we put this idiot to sleep. The fewer idiots we have to fight, the better. Have her cast this on herself. Tomorrow, let's see. Let's go with this. Woljif, have him cast this. Oh, we've got 2 clerics to deal with. Let's move here. We've got another one. What do we have? 6 against you. I say 6 because that's the button that Slumber is on. Dang it. Land's turn is a little bit out there, too. Let's see. Him attacking... I guess there isn't really an option there, huh? Could do this. Ooh, at least that one wasn't AoE. But that guy has to go. We need to get rid of both of them. Lan, if you please. Execute Order 66.
Make every strike count.
Distract them for me.
Into the fray!
Are you having fun there, buddy? Let's see. Let's try to put the other one to sleep. God dang it.
You are today's sacrifice.
She did 7 damage and just exploded the guy. Meanwhile, he's still asleep. We've got Morrow. I'm not really worried about these 2, although they are a little dangerous.
Do not hold back.
Ooh! Right, they're level 2. That explains everything. No more fear,
Crossed
please.
the wrong mongrel.
Thank you. Should just do this. Not as good. You know?
The Inheritor, guide my
Okay.
blade!
That's fine.
You won't stop us.
Pretty good.
Go for their hearts.
Meanwhile, he's still asleep on the job. If you don't mind, Morrow.
Strike as one.
Lan, if you would be so
You
kind.
won't survive me.
Okay. Oh,
Time to
yeah, he's
share your
done.
treasures.
So, what do we get? This, take that. That doesn't sell for anything. Definitely take that. This, definitely that. Sells for nothing. Nope. What's this? Does anyone know if darts are even worth using? I mean, throwing weapons at as a whole seem to be absolute garbage, but That's another issue entirely. Maybe. But are throwing darts better than the throwing axes? I mean, their damage is worse, so I would have to say no. No, they're not. It's hard to believe that this place recently held a bustling market. A bustling and festive market at that. Okay, everyone back to slinking around. Maybe we can fit in one more fight if the enemies are low level enough. Wow, that's gross. A rift in the earth left by Deskari's massive scythe. You and your companions fell through here during the attack. Ugh. That's pretty gross. Steps leading up. We'll deal with that after we go over here.
That is quite a discovery.
Yes, it is. Unless it's got... Oh, well, it does have lockpicks in it. It's always good. And judging by the size of the blood stain, the body of something truly enormous was dragged over these stones. Terendelev, most likely. Count Arendai's servant? Arendai. I don't remember that name. Who are you and what do you want? Thank the gods. I found someone who isn't fleeing in panic. Are you crusaders? Mercenaries? The comely half-elf is so frightened he can barely get the words out. I'm a servant of Count Darren Kale Nevis Arendai. My lord's mansion is under attack by demons. The master himself and all his guests are trapped inside, and the house guards are nowhere to be found. I managed to escape through a servant's passage to look for help. Will you help me? The mansion is only a stone's throw away on the next street over. He meets your gaze with pleading eyes. Count Arendai. Probably Arendai, now that I think about it. I've seen him a few times before, from afar. He looked highly audacious. I confess that he did capture my attention, but that's neither here nor there. We should help him. The gratitude of a rich and influential man can only benefit us. Succeeded at a knowledge check of the world. You have heard about the Arendai family before. This wealthy and noble Mendevian dynasty was almost wiped out by the demons more than 10 years ago. The last surviving member of the family, the young Count Darren, is it Dayran? It'd be probably Dayran, has an infamous reputation. He is well known for being a rake and a rogue. Misfortune continues to dog the house of Arendai, I see. The servant cringes. You're telling me everyone tried to talk me out of taking up the position, saying that it can't have been just bad luck that brought tragedy down on the family and almost killed off the line, but I reasoned that since my master was the only one to survive that calamity, that meant he must be blessed by fate and the powers of good. The pay was nothing to sniff at either. The servant cast his eyes around the street. I should have listened to people smarter than me and gone to work somewhere else, preferably far away from Canabras. So, tell me more about what happened. I'll tell you what I can. I was working from dusk till dawn, and back to dusk again, serving guests at the Count's banquet. When the other servants came to relieve me at my post, I went to sleep. Next thing I know, I wake up and there are demons inside the mansion. I couldn't even reach the Count. The monsters had blocked the way. The Count's banquet was still going on. He and his guests were in the great hall, and as far as I could tell, the door to the room was sealed and the demons couldn't get in. I'm begging you, hurry. The mansion's doors are sturdily built. The demons will have to work hard to get past them, so you still have time to rescue the people inside. Fine, I'll help. Where's your master's house? It's not far at all. You're better off entering from the next street over through the passage I used to get out. Please help, I'm begging you. I hate to think what the Count will do to me if I don't bring back help. No better time for a banquet. But first, I must check these lands for loot.
Are we playing hide and seek now?
Let's make sure we quick save so I don't have to talk to him again. The frick is this? Hear me. Take heed, the hordes of the abyss. The wardstone is their target. They must not be allowed to capture it. They must not be allowed to capture it. The consequences will be disastrous. Interesting.
I will guide us.
Oh, hold on. Ooh. Wait, what? Hold on. Freaking accused me? Did I just see what I thought I see? I was going to say see, but decided against it. Before we touch the tiger, we loot. Interesting. Oh. What the frick happened over here? These people were not killed by demons. Their mortal wounds were inflicted by ordinary weapons. There's nothing else going on here, so quick save and then we receive the item tiger. That's a curious way to put it. But who am I to judge?
We are the
Frick.
light. They are the darkness.
Cultist Evoker. Yep, we can't have. Let's go with this instead. Then we'll move him up. And I guess we'll do this. Probably not a good idea, but I've made my decision. She can't move very far, so instead of that, we'll cast Guidance on. Nope, wouldn't be able to do it. Weird that it didn't end her turn, even though I have auto end turn active. Sharpshooter versus an evoker. You know what? If you don't mind, Lan.
Endure this!
All three, huh? They're only level 3, so we don't need to worry too much. She's got defensive stance active. We'll hold here. Actually, maybe we should move up some. Just in case the evoker... No, the invoker is going to use magic on her. Let's get this moving along already. I don't need... Okay, things have gotten out of hand now. 6... I only get one shot at putting that guy to sleep. The last thing I want is an evoker. Dang it. I think for now we can actually ignore this guy. Dang it.
This'll leave a bruise.
Really? That is disgusting. So what do we have? Yeah, let's just
Cover
get
me,
in there.
alright?
Just sit here. Don't worry about me.
What are we looking at? I don't think he has any healing spells. The best we can do for her. What is your malfunction? She's still sneaking, that's why. Great. We'll deal with it this way then. Yeah. Any further and we can't cast it. Dang it. Looks like grease might be the answer then. I gave him guidance last turn. Right? No, this is hearty meal.
It should work. Is it flawed?
It's on 5. Okay, spellcasters have to go.
Make every strike count. Did you see that?
Yes. One to 6. Probably the same for that, huh? Ugh. Yeah.
Just sit here.
Could you people kindly stop bullying her? That's a good heal. We've still got 2 sharpshooters, though. Perfect. That is what we needed. Camellia, if you don't mind. Land, if you please. Sharpshooter, definitely the wizard.
You crossed the wrong mongrel.
He's gone. So who do we have here? I think I'll have her do this. Now for Ember. This causes daze, deals sonic damage. It's only resistant to the usual stuff. But instead of damage, that was a terrible, terrible sound. Since we're already in the goddamn thing's attack range, may as well make it good.
Stab you or zap you. Why not both?
0. Interesting.
Attack!
sharpshooter next.
You won't survive me.
Then let's get you in here.
The light, take you.
It's not that tough of an enemy, so we don't need to go burning all of our limited use spells. Failed to get up? Oh, that's sad, buddy.
Surrender or else.
Missed.
Distract them from me.
Ooh. I don't really care about that guy. As a matter of fact, let's get him out of here.
We shall overcome.
Yeah. Who are we looking at?
I'll cut you wide open.
Good enough. Wait. Oh, it's cold iron. That's why she dealt reduced damage.
Endure this.
Don't sell or anything. Oops. I saw the longbow's value. Light crossbow. Wait, we do need to have Woljif
Don't
get
mind
rid of
me.
this. It's not on there. Okay, let's see.
I hope you appreciate this.
Short sword, not worth carrying. Light crossbow, also not worth carrying.
Godspeed.
I'm going to have to say I don't appreciate it.
The mongrel did it.
These corpses were gnawed to the bone by ghouls, whose teeth were the likely cause of death. Doesn't appear to be anything else over here. Alright. This is where we're going to call it for today, ladies and gentlemen. We've been recording for a little while, and I hope that it feels like we made some progress this time. I know in the last video, we probably didn't make any actual story progress, and we were mostly just fighting and nearly dying. We nearly lost Sela to strength damage thanks to the freaking shadows that we fought, but thankfully we made it out of that in one piece, I guess you could say. Nevertheless, I hope you guys have enjoyed yourselves and everything you've seen here. We will be back Tuesday with another one, so you know when to look forward to just a little bit more. I'm trying to get the videos to stay at around an hour and a half so that we can make significant progress, considering how tough fights can be. If enemies are like level 3 or below, it's not a real problem for us to handle. Thankfully, mostly because Lan is just stupidly broken. But that's at least until he dies. Anyway, anything above 3, we have to actually treat like a threat. I was looking down on the rest of these guys until this one appeared. That was disgusting. We almost lost Sela. Like, she almost died rather than was knocked unconscious. Whew, it was not easy today. And so, with all that said, we will see you next time